in life. And I've even come up with solutions myself. But like you said, it's who you're surrounded with. You know, if you're involved with a mate or a family or whatever, and you're trying to get them involved, that's been my biggest.
Well, the other place I'm going to say to you or any of that are working for someone else of employees, stop if you're really off to quit. Like when I really joined the Kiyosaki group and really started playing, I stopped talking to any of my Chevron fellow employees about my system because I knew it would just be too, like, why? And here's really the place I want you looking, is where are you convincing people to be on this journey with you? Like, you know, did you have to convince people to come with you, you know, here tonight or to the weekend? Are you having to convince people to support you? You should never have to convince people. I mean, convincing, right? That's just the wrong energy. It should all be about accountability and support. And then you really have the courage just to stop. And I'm not saying I kind of like make it harsh and say you need to fire those people. But really what you do is you become more engaged with people. And like we have an enormous, I mean, hundreds of thousands of people who are in our conversation pages. I have hundreds of hours of free content I give on YouTube away, right? But that's all part of our give and our marketing to get people enrolled and are in a conversation. And we have a lot of people who just stay in that conversation because at least we're a place where you can be in that conversation and not convince people to come with you. But you have to say, really, when are you going to make that move for yourself? Really?
Did it today.
What?
I talked to a whole bunch of people about when I got the catalog. I said, look at Laura, my person's going to be there. You know, let's go. No. I said, never mind, I don't want you coming. I don't want anybody coming that's going to poke holes in it when I'm going to have it. That's it.
Yep.
Because it's never too late.
Never too late. I have people as old as 92. The cutest guy is 92 years old. I said, what are you doing here? Because he was fairly wealthy, you know. He said, well, most of my friends are dead or boring, and you said trade up, so I'm coming to your community. I just wanted to say 7 years. So, and we have as young as 9. So we have a huge range. So it's never too early, it's never too late. It's a big range.
Do you think you, since it's a personal talk, do you think it would be a different training if you had a daughter instead of son?
I do have a daughter, a 4-year-old daughter.
So it's a daughter and a son.
I have a son, yep, son that's 11 and daughter 4.
Okay.
And they're the best of little friends. They're sweet together. Very different. She's me. My son's technical. He'll be doing this stuff. You know, you take your jobs over in a minute on all the technology. Not Tristan. She'd be up here dancing. She said, "Let's put cash in your pocket." Oh yeah, big blue eyes, blondie little hair. Oh my God. God help me on that one. I'll tell you. Yeah.
You were talking about being stuck, and I think that a lot of them, you were talking about people that are well, 49 and unemployed and were, and then now all of a sudden they're, you know, shocked, you know, you're not special anymore. It's not going to be found there anymore. It's not there anymore.
There's a lot of extinct jobs that people are blind.
And when you go through that stage and you finally got out of that stage, then you have to start thinking about reinventing yourself. But you know, one of the hardest things to do is you have to let all the old garbage, all the old
Here's
stuff
where it's so what, now what? Yep, so what, that'll happen. Now who are you going to be? It is, it's reinventing your identity.
Right.
In a huge way.
It's real.
No, well, it's a while, but I would say just be decisive about it. Like, give yourself specific timelines. So like when I say about have clear, fast solutions, like, you know, we're reinventing our entire website, and we're like, I want to be the Facebook of money. Like, that's how clear and easy I want our conversations in our community to be able to have free access to a lot of stuff we're doing. And I'm leaving for Australia next week, and so the team said, well, let's think about it a while. I said, we have till Monday at 1 o'clock. We're making a decision. Like, that's it. And then that's what we're doing, and we're going to do it. It's the best decision in that moment. And I think that's where a lot of you're waiting for it to be the perfect decision.
Exactly.
Hell with the perfect decision. It's the best ever. Like, I read some of these books. This was 2005. I read this now and I think, I'm not cute. Right? But I am so much more sophisticated than my 2005-6 books. But it was the best book we wrote, and still, this actually outsells everything still. Right? So it's great. It's right. It's very timeless in a lot of ways. So but my point is, like now, I mean, even looking back at my own work, but don't wait for it to be the perfect book. You just produce a whole bunch of them. And if you don't like them, you know, give them to the library and throw them away. Right?
But it's like waking up.
You have to wake up.
You know, I see the pictures on the internet, people in lines a mile long, looking really good, and they got their same looking briefcases and they just haven't woke up to figure out that you're going to do something different.
Which is be an entrepreneur. I mean, this is my favorite line, first page of this book. If you like that one, I mean, this one's, this is my favorite of all of them, actually. I don't know why it is. But on my page 1, it says, I'm pretty sure Christopher Columbus did not cross the ocean, so we could all have jobs and secure our 401ks. Entrepreneurialism's America, and we've lost it. And that's the wake-up call, right? I've challenged Susie and Bach at different times, which they won't do, to do. David Bach, he wrote the Finish Rich series, you know, Finish Rich, but it's very traditional, saving your way to wealth stuff. I've challenged him. I said, let's go on CNBC, because we've all been on CNBC a lot, or Fox. I said, let's have a national debate about an industrial age model and a true entrepreneurial model. Because this isn't like Laurel's work. This is my work reconstituted around centuries of real stuff, real training. That's just, it's not like some, you know, new idea. This is just ideas reconstituted in my conversation. But the wake-up call's here. 17 million people are going to stand in that line for a long time, unless they wake up.
Are there any actual real new models? I think it's,
No.
all of it existed.
It's all been
You
existed.
have to retool and rework.
Yeah, and I do, so and I did mention this, so our special, let me just show you, so it's the 4 books that I have up here, and it's a $79 offer for all 4. Was that my 5-minute warning? Okay, but you know I can talk all night, so I'm just gonna be moving, oh, we're just gonna go across the hall and keep talking, you know that? Okay, good. And so normally they're $24.95, so it's usually over $100, so it's $79, and I can autograph them, and if you want the autograph copies, you can sell on eBay for twice as much, and it's true. People buy my game, they already have the game, but if they get an autograph copy, they sell, like, it's just recently I saw one of my games go for over $200 because I signed it. Isn't that funny? Like, you know, I'm just so not having an ego about it. It's so funny because I'm like, this is still in my mind, right? Farm girlfriend best. I'm like, how funny, like my signature actually sells, but I don't care. So I'll give it to you, you make more money. It's kind of cute, huh? But we do a 3-day workshop that you're guaranteed to make money in 3 days. It's the coolest. If you really like the model and what we're up to, we can give you more information in the back about that too. We'll be in, we were just in LA, we're going to Orlando, we'll be in Sacramento next month in March. We do it every month. June we'll be back in OC, so that's probably the closest here. In June we'll be back in Orange County. If you really want some guts, you can get on an airplane to Sydney, Australia with me, or Jakarta, Indonesia. So we travel all over the world to do this work. It's fun.
You're going to be on A380?
On the what?
They just want to say 380, yeah.
Oh, is that the Qantas new plane?
Oprah went over with her team.
Oh, did she?
You know, double decker, it's huge. Like, it carries like a...
Fly Emirates and my son will take care of you.
Yeah, Emirates has them too.
So what's your relationship with Robert Kiyosaki like now?
What's it like now?
Yeah.
We don't talk much. He's a little stunned that how successful I became.
But it's with his product.
This is mine.
Oh, your product.
Yeah. Yeah. He's still, they had a big business divorce, he and Sharon Lecter, who wrote all the books for him. So he hasn't really come back out on the circuit much. And I'm very practical. I tell you exactly how to do stuff. I don't give you fantasy ideas. And if you're in fantasy ideas, I will tell you that you're in fantasy island. Be very candid. We're very practical.
Can I ask you a super practical one?
Pardon?
Can I ask you a super practical question?
Absolutely.
One of the techniques, of course, was investing in some cash flow real estate.
Yes.
One is pretty wild. So where in particular do you see real estate that actually produces cash flow?
Phoenix is amazing. Amazing. Ohio. I have stuff in Idaho. Sacramento, actually. The Central Valley of California is hot, really hot. You can produce cash flow all over the place. So it's buying, you know, the biggest thing is where the cash flow is now. It's where people will rent. Like Vegas won't rent. Florida doesn't rent. Right? So if you don't have a rental market where you have populations of the foreclosed folks that will rent, that's the missing piece. Because you can buy cheap stuff everywhere, but it's not about buying cheap stuff. And that's the miseducation that's happening out there. As everybody's talking about the garage sale, it's not just about finding the cheap. It's about finding the renter. It's also about finding, like I have too many students who got in other people's bad programs. Kiyosaki's being one, because they don't tell you enough detail. Anybody can buy real estate, but where's the investor or the retail buyer on your flip? Right? So again, without a renter, without somebody to flip the real estate to, who cares you got the cheap stuff? You're now stuck with holding costs that you can't afford. Right, so you gotta look at the full cycle of what are you doing and how do you get through a full cycle of revenue. Yeah, it's good. And the other thing I would say about the Millionaire Maker, because I'm also a huge fan of lines of credit, but again, in this market, you're not gonna find a lot of lines and your equities aren't gonna stand, right? So it's not that the technique doesn't work, it's just much more difficult in this kind of market to do. And I'm always, if you don't know how to make money, taking any risks like, borrowing down lines, going into any debt, it's really risky if you don't know how to make money. But my goal is to help you make money. Here's my ultimate goal for people, that I can put you in any country of the world, you can make money in a couple hours. That's skill. You can drop either one of us in any country in the world, we'll make money in an hour. Hell, I'd make it on the flight on the way over. I flew home from Florida, I don't think I told you this, I signed 3 people up for the cash machine on the airplane, because I talk all the time. You think I'm gonna sit in an airplane for 5 hours from Florida to Vegas and not get names, phone numbers, and emails? I'm like, they're captive, man. So, yeah, and so I sign people up for my 3-day workshop. So what do you mean? And I talk really loud, so I want 2 seats ahead to hear, and then they turn around and say, oh, here's your business card. Of course, then I have this little coupon, so I buy them a drink. So anyway, we all hang out. I love that. But see, you gotta have the courage and guts to just do it, and that's where we gotta do. So I will meet you back there. You're taking my books home, I'm not. Did you like that? Yeah, it's cheap, okay, and I'll sign them. If you already have copies, you can keep your copy and sell the unsigned copy on eBay. And then turn in your cards, at least fill out the name, phone number, and email part, and then we gotta have the email to send you the link for the stuff, okay? So here, I'll just collect them and we get it and give you.
So who are your mentors now?
My favorite mentor, I'm being mentored by billionaires now because I want to go to the next level. A lot of world economists. So Harry Dent and I are very good friends. Come on, Cliff, give me a card. Here, can you borrow a pen today? Do I get yours too?
I have a pen.
You don't have a pen either? Here, borrow a pen. And I'm modeling how aggressive all of you should be. You say, oh my God, it's aggressive. It's not either. It's just very direct. John Rutledge, who was the economic advisor, he is the economic advisor to the Premier of China. He's one of the world leading economists. And then I have some just like multi-millionaires next door that nobody knows, that are just rock solid guys that just do a lot of good business. I mean, my favorite thing to do, really, like my funnest thing to do, is buy crappy little companies, fix them up and turn them. I'd rather do that than like fix up real estate. So I just invested in a little pizzeria. We got it for free, nothing, okay? But they needed about $23,000 to fix up the pizzeria, and I just got bought back out of that for $42,000. So last I checked, that was a pretty good return in 4 months. I'm buying a little salon in Ohio because the salon owner doesn't know how to run it. We got it for free. Because she's either going to close it or give it to us, and then she gave it to Rich Anderson and I are doing that together, 50-50. So I got to put $10,000 in to fix it up a little bit, and we're going to run it like a real company. And she'll get a little equity for trying to figure it out, but she doesn't know how to figure it out. Those are fun. See, that's what I like. My whole maze. Once you know how to make money, then we can kind of play this next game, which is where the real money is. Fun.
So what are you going to cover the next seminar?
So I'm going to really go into the 5-step model on how do you make the money every day. Like, so how do you pick your business, pick the thing you need to do, how do you price, what do you sell. So again, I go through some sales techniques and some marketing techniques, like a lot more tactical detail. I got 90 minutes, so double the time we just did. So we can go over there and what's
They've
going.
actually moved that, so just follow the signs, so direct to that area.
Do what?
They moved that room.
They moved me?
So
So where am I now?
We're Lorenzo Senior, so we'll take care of that.
Not the playroom?
What?
Lorenzo
The Lorenzo?
C.
C. All right, thanks for coming.